Neo Berlin 2079.
Olá, seja bem-vindo a mais um vídeo aqui. Meu nome é Fernando Imperato e hoje eu vim aqui, trouxe um convidado internacional. Eu gostaria de falar um pouquinho mais sobre o trabalho dele, você vai ver. É um cara que está fazendo lá no exterior, é um italiano que mora na Estônia. Ele está fazendo agora um curta chamado Ataque dos Polvos Cibernéticos. Ele é um sci-fi totalmente estilo anos 80, filmado no estilo anos 80, com coração dos anos 80. Então, gostaria de falar, me mostrar para você e falar um pouquinho, deixar o Nicola falar um pouquinho sobre o trabalho dele. Seja bem-vindo, Nicola Piovesan.
Hello, hello.
Nicola, I talked a little bit about your Attack of the Cyber Octopuses work. Can you explain a little bit about the work you're doing in this short film?
Yeah, I'm doing this 80s tribute of the science fiction from the 80s, like Blade Runner, Escape from New York, Terminator, and I really wanted to make something like that. Also, I dreamt for a long time to make something like that, and I'm doing it both aesthetically, so in the look and the feel and the kind of story that I'm telling, but also in the way of making it, so without using computer graphics, but doing everything with miniature models and vehicles, and everything is shot in real location, so like truly in the 80s spirit.
So you're not using any green screens or computer generated stuff, except like for the computer generated screens in the 80s, like the boards and control panels and all.
Yeah, I'm creating like in the 80s style, of course, some graphics. So if some character is using a computer, then it will have some 80s vintage graphic, but I'm not building, a spaceship or something with a computer. Something in chroma is made, but it's just for compositing the different models. But the actors and everything is made in real location and made for real with miniatures and models.
Well, that's amazing. I got to know Nicola's work through a picture of his making of, and I got really amazed with his work, and I think you will too. And the coolest thing here is that you can also be in the movie, like in the credits of the movie. You can be a co-producer of the movie. So listen to the end that we're gonna tell you a little more how you can be part of the movie too. You can even write lines to the movie. This is a very cool project. Nicola, tell us a little bit more about your career as a filmmaker. I mean, you are originally from Italy, and now you're living in Estonia, and you got a cool body of work already.
Yeah, well, I've been doing filmmaking for like 10-15 years. I'm still nobody, but my films were screened all around the world, also in Brazil, some of them. I can't remember the festival names, but I've made many shorts or music videos or advertising, and they are being screened all around the world. But this is the first time I'm doing it with this kind of techniques, so it's a new challenge for me. And I'm from Italy. I studied in Italy. I'm from Venice. I studied in Bologna.
Mm-hmm. You studied movies. You studied cinema.
Yeah, I studied cinema like in a theoretical way, so like film history, film language, filmology, and so on. But then I started, while I was,
which is very cool, and you can learn a lot by studying it and then going to make it. It kind of helps you get a little more of the movie language, all the subtleties that can make a big difference in your work, right?
It's very important to know what the other filmmakers have made before you, and watching a lot of movies and to understand, those movies and how the directors was making it and what he was telling you. It's very, very important to study, the past and the history of cinema to make films, in my opinion.
Right. What is your relationship like emotionally with the movies in the 80s? Because it's a lot of work what you're doing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be something special. But why did you decide to do it in the first place?
I had this memory of when I was a kid, to see those movie sets. They were full of puppets, the animatronic puppets, and they were full of wonderful location built for real with miniatures or those scenography really constructed and made with wood or whatsoever. And then it was like a big amusement park. And then starting from late 90s, everything started to be made with chroma key. So you see those actors walking just on a green screen or on a blue screen, and it was it is a little bit sad now compared to what I was dreaming when I was a kid. And so with this project, I wanted to, go back to that way of making cinema more, crafted, and to have more empathy also with to touch what you are doing and not having just a computer generated picture.
Right, that's awesome. And you're doing all the miniatures, all the models, you're doing it yourself. Did you have any previous work with this, or are you just learning it? Because it's amazing. I didn't see any of this in other people's works, like except the big Hollywood movies and stop motions. But in any movie, this is really an undertaking.
Well, let's say I'm making 90% of the things alone. I have a couple of friends that are helping me with some miniatures or some vehicles, but the biggest part I'm doing it alone. And actually it's my very first time I'm doing it. I just watched a lot of behind the scenes photos of those movies from the 80s, like Blade Runner or Star Wars, and I say, okay, I want to make it myself. And I just started without any experience in that. Of course I have an experience in filmmaking, I have experience with computer graphic, but not on model making or miniatures. And this is something I tried for the first time, but the result is it's kind of okay, it's kind of good.
It's gonna be a huge learning experience. Like you're gonna get out of this with a lot of different skill set.
Yeah, well, for me, I think it's very important to never stop learning. I'm always, I want to know more and more, and it's part of my knowledge that hopefully in the future can help me to be a good director. Now I'm somehow forced to do it because I don't have a budget, so I have to do it myself. But I hope in the future to have a proper set designer. But having this experience of making with my hands, then maybe I can be a good director in the future to ask them what I really want.
Right, Nicola. I know you're gonna try to be humble here, but do you have any do you want to turn this into a franchise? Maybe a feature movie, maybe like a trilogy or something? Do you intend, or is it just an experiment that you're trying to do?
Well, it's both. I mean, it's a way for me to learning something new, but I also want to make a very, very good film that everybody can enjoy. And also, I'm not making only for myself. I'm making for the audience and to communicate, my feelings and to communicate something to as much people as possible. And it will start as a short film also, because with the budget that we are asking on crowdfunding, you're asking something for a short film. But then we hope that it can get enough attention, enough festivals worldwide to make maybe something more, maybe a TV series or a feature film.
That's awesome, Nicola. I want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter campaign, because some people really like this kind of work and they would like to be part of it. Like I've seen in your Kickstarter page, you're asking for a modest amount of money to make this incredible movie, and people can not only be in the credits of the movie, but they can only write some lines depending on the contribution. They can be co-producers depending on the contribution. Their companies can get in the logo of the movie in the credits, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are different kind of perks from €1 to 8,000 euros. And of course, the largest the amount, you can be an actual co-producer of the film. So you can be on the set, you can be working on the script, you can actually be producer of it. And the company logos and your name will be not only in the credits, but also in the miniatures of the city. So one idea is to put the logo of the company around the futuristic world, like in Blade Runner with Coca-Cola, for example. And so, but also, if you want to contribute, you can write a line for the film. We launched this contest, and just pledging a couple of euros, you can enter the contest and write up to 5 lines to the film and write them in the comments of the Kickstarter page. There are already some funny ones, and then the best 3 lines of all the people who write their lines will end up in the movie, and you will have a special credit for this line in the credits, like a writer of this amazing line.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, many people just want to have the movie. Like you also, one of the perks is the movie in 4K, like ultra high resolution. But also some people want to be in the credits. Like being part of this incredible project is some people's dreams to be involved in a movie like this. So there's the chance for somebody who wants to get into this So, Nicola, what are your references as a director? Like the people that inspire you? Like you've talked about the miniatures of George Lucas and Ridley Scott in Blade Runner, and of course all the people that helped them in this work. Do you have any other references that you really like? That you're maybe not in this specific movie you're gonna use a lot of, but people that really inspire you and that made you want to be a filmmaker?
I like a lot of different directors from the past and also contemporary, and they are very different each other. I really like, different things from Tarantino to David Lynch, Aronofsky, right. Tarkovsky, for example. Werner Herzog is one of my favorites as well. Stanley Kubrick. I mean, I really, those names are some of my favorites, and they are, very different each other, but I really love the way they make movies. I also like Luis Buñuel, for example.
And each of them brings a different aspect to your filmmaking, like as an influence, right? Because one characteristic of one director gets in your head and maybe it shows in your work, right?
Yeah, of course, they somehow all contribute in different aspects. For example, from Werner Herzog, maybe I took the way of making films that is like a big challenge, like Herzog was really challenging to make his movie and being in incredible adventures, like the real film was making the film. So, for example, right. I took a lot from that.
So you're gonna do a film in German in Brazil too?
Maybe. Yeah, and then I don't know, maybe from Tarantino, this kind of pulp or crazy things, like those films that he made with Rodriguez. I mean, I'm not anything on that level, but I took inspiration from different aspects.
Okay. Thank you very much for this interview, Nicola. I'm really happy to be showing your work to people here in Brazil, and you've been in national television there. Your Kickstarter is being a huge success, and I'm really happy to be seeing this work getting made. And I want to congratulate you for your work again, and I'm really eager to see your future projects too.
Thank you very much. I really hope to get the goal. The campaign is going good, but the goal is still far away, so I really hope in a little contribute from all of your audience that, even just a little bit, but if there are many people helping, then we can make the movie and it will be great.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna have this link in the description box and also in this little card here. So thank you very much again, Nicola. I'm really happy to talk to you, and thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.